I've been touring France without dope to get me high. Yeah, hey, on God I'm strong. Walks on the rings of the teams I'm outstone. Just watch me. Hey, yeah, hey. Gonna get a whole lot of gold on the neck. Just watch me.
Core. What's up, guys? It's CT coming at you from Balance Over Power, and today we're going to be doing a core/booty workout. I know that these are two areas that people really like to target, so we're going to do a couple things just like right over here on my yoga mat. It's actually a sleeping bag, but I mean, I can still use it though, right? But one thing that I also want to kind of like talk about before we get into the flow of things is that everybody's got like a natural base, right? So lots of people think they can just hit the gym and just develop like a six-pack, but you have to remember that a lot of this, especially when it comes to the core, can be genetic. I know people who work out every single day, but because of their natural body weight, have a hard time losing weight and cutting down. So instead of trying to try to achieve a certain look, I think we really should also kind of focus on the point that you can still develop and strengthen that core. It may not necessarily look exactly how you want it, but you can still do a lot of work. So today we're just going to be doing a couple exercises, really targeting and geared towards just trying to strengthen and tone the abdomen area as much as possible, as well as a couple exercises that'll definitely get those booties burning. And yeah, instead of talking about it, let's just get into it. So the first thing that we're going to do are the Russian twists. Most people are probably familiar with them, but I'm going to talk about a couple variations and a couple things that I think about when I do mine. I've been doing them for a couple years because conceptually I feel like people miss a lot of things when it comes to training. So the same way that when you do a pull-up, right, you're supposed to fully extend before contracting the muscle. I feel like when people do Russian twists, they have a tendency to just kind of like go side to side. They just work the muscle. So what I like to do is when I do my Russian twists, I go up and over and fully crunch on the way down. The reason that I fully crunch is because if you really, really try to target that area, you're going to expend way more energy and you're going to build a lot more of your core base. Russian twists by themselves aren't that hard for me. So for those of you who are a little bit more advanced, I know that, with quarantine, nobody has weights and stuff like that. So what I'm going to be doing is I got a cardboard box and I fill it up with a lot of books. Got the timer set for 1 minute. Let's go.
So again, I just want everybody to remember that these are the advanced versions. If you're not here, 3 sets of 30 seconds of normal Russian twists will suffice. For these variants, I want again bring attention to me crushing my obliques on each side, really trying to work my abdomens. Not only that, but keeping my legs straight and off of the ground, trying to develop not only hip flexor strength and stabilization, but just trying to get the most out of the workout. Thirsty Thursdays. Make sure you guys are getting that water because you're gonna need it.
The next thing that we're gonna do are leg raises. So again, I always have like the intro version and then the more advanced version, or at least things that help me. So for these leg raises, obviously if you can do them, just do them normally if you don't have that strong of a core base. If not, the way that I'm gonna do them are I'm actually gonna do them gradually. It's gonna be more of a progression, and as I do them, I'm gonna hold each position for a little bit. We're gonna do those for a minute as well. These aren't as hard as that variation of the Russian twists. So we're gonna see if we can do this 3 times. That's the objective.
So a couple things to think about here. First and foremost, if you can't keep your hands behind your head or on your shoulders, feel free to put them palm down on the floor. By doing so, that'll make it a lot easier to stabilize and a lot easier to bring your legs up. Another thing, if you can't keep your legs straight, then please feel free to bend them a little bit. At the end of the day, being able to get some work done is better than trying to do something too hard and then quitting halfway through. Core is by far one of the hardest things to work, and it's really easy to give up, but as long as you persevere, you'll be able to see results. As you can see in these advanced versions, I'm holding my legs in certain spots. As I hold one in each spot, I can target each one. Holding your legs straight out at the very bottom is by far the most difficult of the positions. I try not to bring my legs up into the 90-degree position for too long because I like to try to push myself as much as I can. Thirsty Thursday. So right here we have the side plank clams / leg raises. So I do have a resistance band. I've been through lots of therapy. I've got a couple of them. If you don't have one, that is not an issue. Instead, what you would do is extend your top leg, whichever one isn't based or planted on the ground. You'd extend the top one out and you would raise your foot up and down. So it would look a little bit different. At one point, I catch a cramp. I'll pinpoint that point when I get there. But one thing I want to talk about is just really taking your time and really feeling the burn. You want to work your muscles. If you're moving too quickly, that's not really getting the most out of the exercise. We're going to be doing these for 4 sets of 15. This was, I believe, my 3rd set. I was fatiguing at this point. But it's all about just fighting through the fatigue and really trying to get that exercise done. You really want to work. And actually coming up right here, I was doing both sides for balance, and right here I catch a hammy cramp. This is the position that you're going to want to be in if you don't have resistance bands. I actually massaged out my leg for a second. It was really bad, so I had to slow the rep down. But right here, I just kind of figure it out. I finish it up and then get back on my feet and finish out the rest. So here we have the donkey kicks. One thing I really want to bring attention to is how my back is pretty much straight. I'm really isolating the glutes. I'm pushing up. You do not need resistance bands to do these. I just have the resistance bands for my own sake. Right here, it kind of looks like I arch my back, but in reality, it's just that I've got a little bit of, a pancake. And because of that, you really should make sure that you're taking your time when you're really trying to get to the top of that and coming back down. Alright guys, so these are the glute hip bridges. These are really good. At this point, I was starting to fatigue. My body was definitely feeling it. One thing I want to point out is that my leg is straight. You do not have to keep a straight leg. If you want to bend your leg 90 degrees because it's easier for you, by all means. Also, keeping your hands behind your head makes most of these exercises harder. Again, you can put your palms face down on the ground to help provide some more support. One thing I want to also note is that you really want to make sure that you're squeezing at the top. You want to make sure you're really thrusting at the top of the air. One thing that also really does help is just making sure that you're staying stable the entire time. You want to be controlled, taking your time. Right here, I actually catch a cramp. But like, even when you're hurting, the hardest part is always finishing it out. So I just kind of massage it out and get the rest of my reps done. Next, we're going to do the squat steps. I know you guys are going to appreciate this one because it's by far the easiest one of all of the exercises that we've done all day. But a couple things to think about is just really making sure that you're squatting low, pushing that butt back as if you were trying to almost reach to the back of like a toilet seat. As you take steps, you just want to make sure that you're taking your time. Again, you don't need resistance bands. I just think that they're really great tool, especially if you're gonna do at-home stuff. And you're basically just going both ways for 50 steps. So, 1, 2, 3. Those are what I would constitute as a step. Just making sure that you're taking time. You're gonna feel them, especially in the IT bands and glutes. And as long as you make sure that you're really squatting, you do not want to feel anything in your knees. If you feel something in your knees, you're not doing it appropriately, and you're just setting yourself up for injury.
She a daddy's girl like Reggie. I paid my dues, I ain't gonna lose. Word. Hit him with the hand of Devo. All of you birds is Dan DeVito. I'm a die legend like Dan Marino. I just blew a check at the damn casino. Stroll through life like I ain't got rules. You think I ain't shit if I ain't got you? How you gonna walk if